You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Farris. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, good morning to you two. Stop me if you've heard this before, but you know who has birthdays today?
Who?
I don't think you do.
I bet I could figure it out.
Ozzy Osbourne is 72 today.
Nice.
It is not. It's John Michael Osbourne. You were close. Yeah. Ozzy's still getting it done at 72. What a lunatic. Nice. Actress Daryl Hannah.
I love Daryl.
Is 60. Yeah,
I think she may be the most beautiful Daryl there is.
She was an excellent mermaid in Splash.
That's one of my favorites, I think.
Part in Blade Runner that probably most people had forgotten about. And, of course, in the Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Movie series. And I only bring this up because I've always this is like the greatest name possibly in country music. Ferlin Husky.
That is a pretty cool name.
Yeah, born down in Missouri back in 1925, actually. Ferlin, one of my favorite Ferlin songs. Punch it up, you'll absolutely bawl your eyes out. Born to lose.
Born to lose.
Born to lose, I've lived my life in vain. Every dream has only brought me pain. All my life, I've always been so blue. Born to lose, and now I'm losing you.
So you're saying he's a motivational speaker.
So this is why I don't listen to that kind of music.
Yeah, he was the life of every party he ever attended. So there you go. Let's see. It was 1586. You know, how does stuff get places? That's why I love history. It's just so randomly bizarre. 1586, Sir Thomas Hariot.
Oh, okay.
Introduces potatoes to England.
I had no idea.
You just assume there's potatoes all over England like forever and ever since the beginning of time. No, heck no, man. It was like a new deal. In fact, he brought them back from Colombia.
Really?
Yes,
I was
Colombia.
thinking like Ireland or something. But
no, what? Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Again,
it's a lot closer.
That's why I bring this stuff up. You go in Colombia, like cocaine and coffee. Where'd you get the spuds? I don't know. 1775. Kind of fascinating. The first official U.S. flag is raised aboard the naval vessel, the USS Alfred.
Okay.
Named, of course, after the old guy who takes care of Batman. Was known as the Grand Union flag. And now, while that flag did have the 13 stripes, 7 red, 6 white, I believe, designated 13 colonies at the time, it did not have the stars. Up in that corner of the flag was the flag of the Kingdom of Great Britain.
So the Union Jack was up there.
Yeah, because 13 colonies were still under British rule. They'd switched that out with the stars in 1777. So now, oh, Gloria, if you can actually find one of those flags, one of the originals, well, you walk that bad boy on the Antiques Roadshow, and they're going to go absolutely crazy.
I bet they would. That would be probably a pretty valuable flag.
Yeah, I doubt there's really any laying around, but there you go.
Not a ton. Well, Dan, thank you for that update, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just move on here because I tell you what, it can't possibly get any better than that.
Well, we're going to try. It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
Want to save money? Take the BetterCreditCards.com challenge. It's simple and free, and you could save money every single month. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. Do it today. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Time now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I love to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Okay, all right, I guess
Seem a little bummed out.
Old President-elect South Dakota Department of Game, Fish, and Parks, Dan, I guess just never going to take.
How is that? Now, have you been fighting that in the court system?
No, I really got nothing to say to you, Stu. Heidi!
Ranger Dan.
Heidi! Heidi! Hey, Heidi! Call me Rudolph, because you just slayed me. Which leads us into today's Critter Corner. This time of year, what's one of the world's favorite critters?
Reindeers.
Reindeer.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves them.
So I thought it might be a little fun on Critter Corner this morning to play a little reindeer games, kind of get us in the mood for old Christmas time and whatnot. Reindeers is pretty fascinating what we're going to do here because, as you know, I've spent most of this year trying to be as woke as humanly possible.
Absolutely, I remember.
It's come with some changes, and sometimes change is hard, but I think this might be kind of a little fun with that in mind. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw out a name of one of Santa's reindeer.
Okay.
We're going to go through the list. Every time I name a name one of Santa's reindeer, you're going to tell me its gender.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, years back, it would have been just, hey, female, male, but nope.
Oh, no.
Here's the designation. You got to be quick about it because we're under the clock here. When I throw out a name, you can either go with him, he, her, she, him, her, him, or non-binary. There are several others, but we don't have a lot of time. So here we go. Shout out your answer, and when we're done here, I'll tell you who's got the most points. All right, go for it. Gender, self-identifier, dancer.
Non-binary.
Dasher.
Non-binary.
Him, he.
Prancer.
Him, he.
Non-binary.
Vixen.
Non-binary.
He, she, her.
Comet.
Non-binary.
Cupid.
He.
Non-binary.
Donner.
Non-binary.
Blitzen.
Non-binary.
I think we're going to keep Rudolph out of there because Rudolph was really just kind of a one-off. He just kind of got hooked up to that sleigh during the blizzard, that kind of thing, and they just kind of then re-exiled him back to that island of misfit toys. But here's the thing, little radio rangers, and you two did an excellent job. You were horribly incorrect on all of your answers. Here's the situation. All of Santa's reindeer are female.
What?
Every one of them. Let me explain. I know that sounds made up, but here's the deal. Guy reindeer lose their antlers
That's right.
during the winter, but the lady reindeer keep their antlers through December and beyond. So when you see those reindeer hooked up to Santa's sleigh, they got all
Yes,
nice
they do.
racks
You're
there.
right.
And antlers, too. And that also explains why no one has ever seen Santa parallel park.
That is true.
I may be woke, but I'm still a misogynist son of a gun. Science! That's all the time we have today, little radio rangers. Till next time, this is the artist formerly known as Ranger Dan. Outside with me.
Yes, sir.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Time now for Water Cooler Talk with Mr. Dan Farris, brought to you by Lukewarm Tap Water.
Tap water.
Before we get into this story, big shout out to Mike and Darren and the crew at Tire Motive. As you know, the month of November, of course, is Veterans Day, but also the entire month is Military Family Appreciation Month.
Yeah.
And we work closely with Big Paws Canine
Awesome
Foundation,
people.
which hooks up veterans, injured first responders, that kind of thing, with service dogs, and they do all the training and everything else, and that takes do-re-mi. It's all privately funded, and Tire Motive stepped up percentage from every oil change in November, going to go to Big Paws, and they are extending that all through December now, too.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
yeah, you need your vehicle, get that little oil change going. Tire Motive, man, that's the place to go. Because that's all there is to it. All right, what's happening here? This is interesting, kind of. Dateline Pierre. Or Pierre.
I think it's pure.
Okay, so they have this logo design, right? The dome for the state of South Dakota Bureau of Administration.
Okay.
And for quite a while, it looked a lot like the dome, the Capitol building, Washington, D.C.
Okay, yeah.
So it's been switched up to more resemble the dome at the Capitol and Pier, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But here's the skinny. The state Bureau of Administration has now switched to that new logo and blah, 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 blah. So you think, well, like, no big deal, right? Well, it's prompted some questions about payment for that redesign work.
Oh.
You with me so far?
Yeah.
All right. Doesn't strike me as any big deal, but here we go. Bureau paid a whopping $2,000 to a firm for designing the first version. Additional work was produced for second version and was done for free. Because normally when you do get into design work, it'll be, okay, we're going to do your design. We will do 1, 2, or 3
revisions
within the money allowed here. So that's no big deal. Well, turns out one of the people involved at the Capitol, the invoice was sent to the address of a home for one of our elected officials, and turns out it's his wife that was doing the work. She has the design firm.
Okay.
Well, and some people are stirred up about this.
Who cares?
Who cares?
So they're disappointed that
that it didn't go out of state? I mean, it seems like that's what happens to a lot of the other stuff.
Number one, the redesign of a new logo for $2,000, that ain't bad.
No.
That ain't bad.
And if it was $200,000, I think there'd be a reason to be concerned about something.
No, but this is
$1,000.
I have
looks
no problem
nice,
with
but
this.
it's some people get a little growly when people are related and work gets farmed out to relatives. So I can see where they may want to have a question or two, but work came out pretty slick, and for $2,000, whatever. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just telling you what's going on because anything can be hubbubbery these days.
Oh, yes, it can.
You know what?
Total hubbubbery.
The hubbubbery hasn't just started recently, though. Something you mentioned earlier in the program, you were talking about the very first time the American flag was hung on a battleship. It was on this date in
1775, yeah.
So do you know the story about who designed our flag? Everybody thinks Betsy Ross, but it's not.
Well, I really don't know.
One of the signers of the Declaration of Independence actually designed it, and he submitted an invoice to Congress, and they never paid him. So officially, that family, wouldn't you say, still owns the rights to the American flag? They never paid him because they go, well, you're on the committee, so no, we're not going to pay you.
John's the only person I've ever met that could actually carry a grudge
for
someone else.
I know.
Someone else who's been dead 200 years, by the way. Don't tell me you belong to a Facebook group on this subject.
I'm going to start one right now. So
that's incredible.
No, he submitted an invoice to Congress, and it was never paid. Because they said, well, you're a member. We're not.
So how did they end up with the Betsy Ross story?
I think she sewed the first one.
Well, she did. She was a seamstress. She made flags.
Okay.
But 100 years later, in the 1870s, her grandson is the one that kind of spun that story.
What was his problem? Was he left out of the will or what?
He was making dough on the official Betsy Ross flags. Mm-hmm. So if you don't believe me, just watch Drunk History sometime. Everything
I love that show.
It must all be true.
Everything I know, I learned on Drunk History.
That is one of my favorite shows.
Or just getting Heidi liquored up and asking her questions.
Yeah, because I don't remember several years ago when University of South Dakota, they had a new logo design done. And I know the firm that did it, and I know the price tag on it, and I'm stunned that nobody raised 18 kinds of head over that deal. That was crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing some of the things that people get upset about and other things that just kind of skate through. And
money, and it's all relative when it comes to good graphic design. Any kind of design, it's all over the map too. It's like any kind of artwork; it's subjective. So
absolutely.
It all depends. My son Luke is a designer, and when he does side work, I know what he charges and why.
Yeah,
but it's nothing like if you were to go to a high-end agency,
right?
You'd be paying easily 10 or 12 times that.
Right.
You know, just really depends. So.
Well, thank you for that update, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming up, we've got some good news to get to, and our good news is, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this leading up to the actual thing. There was a nonprofit night where they had a pitch night, and it happened earlier this week. We're going to talk to the winning nonprofit who won several $1,000s, and they won an interview on Sunny. And they've got some ads that we're going to be running on Sunday to help.
A bunch of business people just started up in the ante on that.
It was really cool. So it started out as $1,000, and then some other people were like, "Well, I'll throw in $1,000," and then a third one was like, "I'll throw in $1,000," and I said, "I don't have any money, but I'll give you some ads." So anyway, we're going to chat with this young man. Super excited for him and what they're up to. It's all on the way.
Want to save money? Take the BetterCreditCards.com challenge. It's simple and free, and you could save money every single month. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to bettercreditcards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. Do it today. bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. They've got beautiful light fixtures to brighten any room in your home or wherever, in your office. And right now we're going to brighten your day with some good news. I've got Terry Liggins joining me, and Terry is with the Hurdle Life Coach. He's the CEO and the Hurdle Life Foundation. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing really good, John. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you. You were the nonprofit pitch night winner earlier this week out at Zeal, and that's got to be pretty darn exciting to be the winner of that thing.
Yeah, it really was, and I went into it with some nervous energy. All of my counterparts and fellow nonprofit leaders all bring forth great messages, worthy causes, and I went in and did my best, gave it my best shot, and came out on top.
Well, that is fantastic. Now, for people who are not familiar with Hurdle Life Foundation and the Hurdle Life Coach, let's talk about what you guys do so then everybody's kind of on the same page as to who we're chatting with here.
So at the Hurdle Life Coach and then also Hurdle Life Foundation, we are here to provide coaching, mentor, and education services to any youth and adults that are going through transitions in life or going through any type of personal adversity, and that's all of us at different times in our lives. We experience those transitions, we experience those adversities, but particularly we specialize in working with youth and adults that are either just as involved or just as impacted. So young people and adults who have seen incarceration, experienced trauma, trying to reintegrate and get some stability and some security, we come alongside of them in mentor, coaching, and navigation.
That is fantastic. Now, what was it that made you first decide, hey, I want to do something like this?
It started for me going to college down at USD in 2003. I have a bachelor's in criminal justice. I decided to study it because I myself was detained as a youth, was on probation, on house arrest, and my experience with probation was really one of the earlier catalysts to me being able to get back on the right track. So as a freshman in college, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to help other youth through being a probation officer, which you fast forward, let's tape a little bit, and I get my master's as well, have some other life experiences, and I just always been committed to using my experiences to help other people like me.
I think that is a fantastic thing to do. And, you know, one of the things that I think is interesting, there are some people who, when they do something wrong in their past, they try to bury that and pretend like it never happened. But there's other people who say, you know what, I'm going to use that. I'm going to build on that. And I'm going to use that to help other people hopefully avoid a situation in the future.
I love that. You like that, John. I mean, positivity, optimism, resilience, these are beneficial attributes that if we adopt, we were able to meet adversity, we were able to meet hurdles, and we were able to get over them, and we were able to be stronger. One of our core principles and beliefs at Hurdle Life Coach is that life is not wins and losses, but that life is wins and lessons. And so from those experiences, you actually gain wisdom. You get guidance, and you're able to be a lighthouse for other people going through some of those same things.
That is fantastic. Now, for people who are listening that are going, man, I love this mission. I love what you guys are doing. First of all, again, congrats on being a winner on the nonprofit night. So you've got some funding that's coming from that. But where else does your funding come from for you to do what you're doing?
We're still soliciting and trying to hit our mark. I mean, we're celebrating some gifts that we've gotten so far from individuals. We're having conversations with corporations right now and applying for grants. But by and large, we're young and launching. So still open to receiving those gifts, whether that's by check to our foundation headquarters, whether that's through Facebook with our donate button that we have in our online campaign. But by and large, John, we're still trying to attract those dollars so we can actually do what it is that we have designed.
Well, I think it's really cool, and as part of your prize that you won, you have some messages that are going to be on the radio here. So you and I are going to get to chat even more here to build a message. But I'm super excited to kind of shine the light on what you're doing and let folks know what you're doing for two things. First of all, for those who need the assistance, you know, that maybe they know somebody that really needs someone to come along them and help them out and get them on the right path in life. But also for people who maybe hear this and say, wow, that would be a really good place for me to plant some seeds, and I'm going to financially bless these people so they can do what they do.
You're spot on, and my heart jumps up and down for either one of those attractions to come into place. Because when you talk about supporting people, not everyone's best equipped to work with those that are going through those different type of challenges. So it does take a special type of training, a special type of understanding. The life experience helps to come alongside them. But certainly if that's not your makeup and this is something you believe in, there's certainly the blessing and the gift of being able to plant seed with us so that we can open the doors, provide the support, and support those that are in need of some of this healing work that we're doing at the Hurdle Life Coach.
Well, Terry, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it a bunch.
Thank you, John, for doing this. I'm excited to see where this radio time goes. I'm a guy who likes to share and stuff, but I still wrap my mind around how far this thing can go, but I certainly feel blessed by the opportunity to partner with you on this work.
Very excited to do that. Again, Terry is with The Hurdle Life Coach, and on the Facebook, I see it's The Hurdle Life Coach. You can find him. I'll throw a link to that as well to make it really easy to find. And again, that'll be at facebook.com/sunnyradio and facebook.com/Sioux Falls News.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Time now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
And they love airing their dirty laundry
They do indeed.
in public.
Uh-huh.
This sparked quite little there's still a storm going on social media over this thing. And I've tripped over some friends of mine the other night going back and forth over it. It's really kind of fun. Kelly Clarkson, unfortunately, is gone through a divorce.
Oh.
Their husband of 7 years. They got a couple kids together. His name is Brandon Blackstock.
Okay.
Formerly, actually, technically the stepson of Reba McEntire, who was
wow.
married to Brandon's dad, Mr. Blackstock, for a number of years. And actually, Reba and he were divorced a few years back.
Okay.
Anyway, Brandon, through his attorneys, is seeking support from Kelly. She's got all the dough. He's like a music promoter or something. This is what he's seeking for monthly support. $436,000 a month.
A month.
A month?
A month.
Yikes.
What is he doing that it's going to cost him that much to live, to get by?
It's because he wants to continue to live in the way he has grown accustomed. That's what they say in court.
Okay.
You have to.
A lot of times what will happen
so they can live the way they have grown accustomed.
Is attorneys will fire something across the bow first that's just outrageous.
Oh, I've seen that.
Because they know it's going to be dialed back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't go up from where you start.
Now, it was just November 30th that Kelly was granted primary physical custody of the two children with an estranged husband. Brandon is the name, like I mentioned. However, her legal battle is far from over, because this amount, this $436,000 a month, is for spousal and child support, even though she has physical custody of the kids. So the whole thing is
that's insane.
He's going to get child support, and she has the kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get any of this.
It comes down to what is there. Now, keep in mind, she obviously has the money in this particular union, although his father was very well-to-do. He's not entitled to his money.
Yeah.
It's all about property and finances from this 7-year union of marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
so
where
7
it's at.
years. What was he doing anything during this time?
Apparently not much.
I'm just
If he
saying,
needs support.
if he was like helping her with her career and doing things,
My
that's a
guess
whole
is
different story.
that's his skill set. So maybe, I mean, at this point, she's got a starring gig with The Voice, which pays very well. She's got her own talk show.
Yeah.
She's a spokesperson.
She sings a song or two.
I think it's a Wayfair. She does commercials and whatnot.
Okay.
She's got a net worth, as we sit here today, a estimated net worth of $45 million.
She's not hurting.
And counting. No. But that seems like a lot of money. I turn it around and go, okay, would everybody be blowing a gasket if the genders were switched on this?
I personally would. I think that spousal support is insane.
You look at all the drums they've been beating for years and years and years against fairness
with
and
equality. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With equality,
unfortunately, I went through that mind-numbing, soul-sucking, travesty that is divorce and child support and everything else.
We've each one of us have been through that.
But I remember, and the thing was, the first papers I got from that attorney, I'm going through it going, you're kidding, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't have near that.
Yeah.
But the first shot was, here
you want everything and then some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just it's insane. It's a game. And it's sad that it ever happens. But a lot of people stirred up just by that amount. But it's all relative.
Insane.
And for me, a lot of it depends on if he was a business partner in helping make business decisions, and that's the reason she has the funds.
Well, if that's the case, then the assets just get split.
Well,
why would you need spousal support beyond that?
I don't know what their residence was, but I mean, she's in L.A. The kids go to school in L.A. And in California, it's a done deal. It's just 50-50 in Los Angeles. Because keep in mind, it varies state to state.
Huh.
For instance, South Dakota uses what's called a grid.
So if he's getting 50% of everything and he still thinks he needs spousal support, that's where I'm saying no.
I don't know the particulars of the case, so I should really be careful of what I say over here. But it seems not right. But again, don't know the details.
$300,000 of that is just to support him. The other $135K is
a month.
Child support per month.
Per month.
Yeah.
No.
So he wants $5.2 million a year just to care for himself.
Oh,
he does use hair product, and that stuff ain't cheap.
Well, and on that note, Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Yeah, it's fascinating. People are insane.
It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris, brought to you by SiouxEmpireJobs.com.
Want to save money? Take the BetterCreditCards.com challenge. It's simple and free, and you could save money every single month. Take a few minutes to look at your current interest rate and see what you get for points or perks. Then go to BetterCreditCards.com to see if they can help you find a better credit card. This will literally cost you nothing, and it could help you get a better credit card. Do it today. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Thursday, December 3rd, 2020. The S&P 500 moved up to another closing all-time high in a day of lackluster trading. The market drifted higher after opening with a small loss to close near the high of the day. The move was led by the industrials after news that Democratic leaders in the House and Senate have now backed a new bipartisan relief bill. The bill, worth $900 billion, is a watered-down version of what the market was hoping for, and perhaps too little, too late. The economic data on Wednesday raised new questions about the health of the economic recovery. The ADP employment report came in at a much weaker than expected 307,000, casting a pall on the labor market recovery. In other news, the Fed's Beige Book shows economic expansion slowed across all reporting segments as the number of COVID cases was rising. You can get the inside track with Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.